My name is Helen. I'm 76 years old. You're probably wondering why I'm sitting here talking to you like this, why an old woman would want to tell a story that's been sitting inside her for 22 years. Every night, same 3 plates. Thomas and I eat. Claire's stays empty. I know what it looks like, a woman who can't move on, who's trapped in 2003. But it's not about being stuck. It's about finally making space. When she was alive, I didn't always do that. I was too busy, too distracted, too focused on being right. Now I set her place every single evening. The plate stays clean, the napkin stays folded, and I'm finally present for her, even though she's not here to see it. This is how I say, you still belong at this table. You always did. This is Claire at 23, the last good photo I have of her. Look at that smile, completely unguarded, full of life. She's wearing her college sweatshirt, the one she practically lived in. I've held this photograph so many times, the glass has a permanent smudge from my thumb. She would have been 48 now. Would have been. That's the phrase I live with. I hold this frame and I see someone frozen in time while I keep aging. My hands get older, more spotted, more shaky, but she stays 23. Forever young, forever that bright smile, forever gone. This is Claire's room, exactly as she left it in 2003. The purple comforter she picked out when she was 16, the posters of bands she loved, her stuffed rabbit, the one with the droopy ear that she'd had since she was 4. Thomas wanted to pack it up, turn it into something useful, but I couldn't. For a whole year, I couldn't even walk in here. Now I stand in the doorway sometimes, just looking. The dust has settled on everything. The sunlight has faded the posters. Time keeps moving in this room, even though she doesn't. It's a museum to someone who was still becoming, and I'm the curator who can't bear to change a single thing. Sunday dinner, 2001. Look at Claire, hands up, eyes bright, in the middle of telling us something she was excited about, some class she was taking, philosophy or poetry, I can't remember now. You know why? Because I wasn't listening. I was thinking about the roast in the oven, about what time we needed to leave for church the next morning, about calling my mother back. She's right there, across from me, trying to share something that mattered to her, and I was somewhere else entirely. You can see my hand in the soto, right there at the edge, resting beside the serving dish. Physically present, emotionally absent. This is the moment I think about most. The moment she asked, "What do you think, Mom?" And I had no idea what she'd just said. Sometimes I put things on her plate, a flower from the garden, a stone I found on a walk, once a postcard from a museum, something abstract and colorful that she would have loved. This is tonight's offering, a purple wildflower I saw growing by the fence. It's still fresh, still alive. The plate is empty, but it's not abandoned. I'm not setting a place out of habit or delusion. I'm setting it with intention. This is how I talk to her now, through flowers and stones and small, beautiful things. Thomas sees me do it. He doesn't say anything anymore. He just squeezes my hand. I think he finally understands. This isn't about denial. It's about making room for love, even when the person is gone. This is Claire at 4 years old. Rainbow shirt, pigtails, completely absorbed in her drawing. And there are my hands, younger hands helping her hold the crayon. I was present for this moment, fully there. I can still remember the weight of her small hand in mine, the way she smelled like apple juice in crayons. This was before I got busy, before I got tired, before I started thinking more about what she should be than who she was. Look at her face. Pure concentration, pure joy. She trusted me completely, and I was there. I was actually there. I wish I could tell that younger version of myself, this is what matters, not the clean kitchen or the perfect schedule. This, just this. These are the books Claire kept telling me to read. Mom, you'd love this one. Mom, this changed how I think about everything. I always said I'd get to them. Someday, when I had time. I was too busy with my own life, my own schedule, my own ideas about what mattered. After she died, I found her list, titles written in her handwriting, with little notes beside each one. So I read them, all of them. Some I didn't understand. Some I didn't even like, but I read every single one because they mattered to her. These broken spines, these dog-eared pages, this is me finally listening. 20 years too late, but listening. Thomas found this in a box in the garage. Claire's bike helmet from when she was 12. Bright pink with princess stickers she'd covered it with. He was just sorting through old things, and he came across it, and he sat down right there on the concrete floor and wept. I'd been married to him for 30 years, and I'd never seen him cry like that. He didn't make a sound, just sat there holding this pink helmet with the peeling stickers, his shoulders shaking. I stood in the doorway, and I didn't know what to do. This is what grief looks like when a father loses his daughter. Silent, broken, holding on to a piece of plastic that still smells faintly of her shampoo. Mom, you'd love this one. That's what the note says, her handwriting, still visible after all these years. These 3 books are the ones she recommended most, the ones she kept bringing up. I finally read them. I underlined passages I think she would have underlined. I argued with the margins the way she used to. Sometimes I forget she's gone, and I think, I need to tell Claire about this part. And then I remember, we could have talked about these books together. We could have had that, but I was too busy, too tired, too convinced I knew better. Now I read alone and imagine what she would have said. Claire's 14th birthday. Look at that laugh. Head thrown back, eyes squeezed shut, completely uninhibited. This is before things got complicated between us, before the arguments about college and boyfriends and life choices, before I started trying to shape her instead of just loving her. In this moment, she's just happy, just herself. Just my daughter laughing at her birthday party. I keep this photo on the mantle because I need to remember there was a time when loving her was simple, when I didn't feel the need to fix or improve or redirect, when her joy was enough, when my presence was enough. I wish I'd stayed in that place. I found this stone on a walk this morning. Smooth, oval, with these white lines running through it like veins. I put it on Claire's plate tonight. I don't know why exactly. Maybe because it's beautiful and she loved beautiful things. Maybe because I need to keep giving her something. These small offerings, flowers, stones, postcards, they're how I stay connected. I know she can't see them. I know it doesn't change anything, but it changes something in me. It says, I'm still thinking of you. I'm still noticing beauty and wanting to share it with you. I'm still your mother, even though you're gone. Fall 2002. one of the last photos I have of Claire before she died. She's standing in front of her university building, backpack on, trying to smile for the camera. But look at her eyes. There's distance there. We'd been fighting about something. I can't even remember what now. Grad school, maybe. Her boyfriend. Something I thought was important. She's standing there, cooperating with the photo, but she's already pulling away. I can see it now, the slight stiffness, the guarded expression. She was protecting herself from me, from my criticism, from my need to be right. This is what I did. I loved her so much, and I pushed her away. And 3 months later, she was gone. Dusk. Our favorite time to sit together now. Thomas and I finish dinner, and we just sit. Sometimes his hand moves toward mine on the table. Sometimes we don't touch at all. We don't talk much. What is there to say? We both know what we're thinking. We should have called her that weekend. We should have said we loved her more. We should have made more space. That postcard is leaning against her plate tonight. Something I saw at a museum. Bright, chaotic, beautiful. She would have loved it. Thomas saw it there and didn't say anything. He just looked at it, then at me. And I knew. We're both doing this. We're both carrying her. Together, silently.
Thomas's hand in mine, almost touching. This is how we grieve together, quietly, in proximity, not quite able to bridge the gap, but trying anyway. We each lost her differently. He packed away her things. I kept setting her place. He stopped talking about her. I talk to her in my head every day. But we're both broken by it. These old hands, these weathered hands that held her when she was born and buried her when she died, they reach for each other now because we understand. We failed her together. We loved her together. We miss her together. And sometimes, at the end of dinner, our fingers almost meet across the table, and that's enough. Late evening. Thomas has gone to bed. I sit here in the dark, looking at the table. 3 places still set from dinner. Her plate still empty. This is when it hits hardest, when the house is quiet and there's nothing to distract me from the weight of it. I sit here and I think about all the phone calls I didn't return, all the times I said I was too busy, all the moments I chose being right over being close. The table looks peaceful from here, almost holy, but it's also an accusation, a reminder of what I finally learned to do only after it was too late. I don't know how long I sit like this, sometimes an hour, sometimes more, just me and that empty plate and the darkness. Every single evening, I fold this napkin the exact same way. Triangle, precise corners, same as I always did when she was alive. My hands know this motion now without thinking. Fold, crease, smooth. It's become a meditation, a prayer, a way of saying, I'm still doing this for you. My hands are older now. Look at these veins, these spots. The wedding ring slides around on my finger because I've gotten thinner. But these hands still remember how to set a place for my daughter. They'll remember until they can't anymore. This is muscle memory. This is love made physical. This is how a mother continues mothering, even when there's no child left to mother. The day Claire was born, January 15th, 1980. Look at my face. I'm 22 years old, holding my newborn daughter, and I have no idea what's coming.
No idea that I'll only have 23 years with her. No idea that I'll spend so many of those years trying to control her instead of just loving her. I look at that young mother and I want to tell her, pay attention, be present. Don't waste time being right when you could be close. But she can't hear me. She's looking at her baby with this expression of pure wonder and promise, thinking she has all the time in the world. She doesn't know. She doesn't know anything yet.
The flower from last week, I left it there until it dried and died. I don't know why. Maybe because it felt wrong to throw it away. Maybe because even a dead flower is something, an offering, a gesture. The petals have curled and browned. The stem is brittle now, but it's still on her plate, still there, like I'm still here, like she's still here in some way. The flower dies, but the plate remains. The ritual continues. Tomorrow I'll replace it with something fresh, a new stone, a new flower, and the cycle will start again. This is what grief looks like. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just a dried flower on an empty plate that no one will ever eat from.
Claire at 16, reading in her room. She didn't know I took this photo. She was wearing headphones, completely absorbed in her book, afternoon light coming through the window. This is who she was when I wasn't trying to fix her or teach her or redirect her. Just herself, reading, thinking, being. I wish I'd seen this version of her more clearly when she was alive. I was always so focused on who I thought she should be that I missed who she actually was. This private, thoughtful, interior person. I saw her body at the dinner table, but I didn't see her mind, her heart, her real self. I was too busy talking to notice who I was talking to. This morning, I wrote her a note. I see you now. 3 words on a piece of paper placed on her empty plate. I don't know if it makes sense to anyone else, but it makes sense to me. For 23 years, I looked at her, but I didn't really see her. I saw my expectations, my disappointments, my ideas about who she should be, but I didn't see her. Now she's gone, and I finally see clearly. I see the daughter who just wanted to be heard, who wanted me to be present, who wanted my attention more than my advice. I see you now, Claire. I'm sorry it took losing you to learn how to look, but I see you. I finally see you.